This is the Wrestling Conscience Smackdown, laying the smackdown of analysis and truth and compassion and all of the above in these wrestling streets. Now we're gonna do the analysis of the Elimination Chamber. I'm not gonna go segment by segment, but picking out the key themes to make you think, maybe, yes, I agree, or maybe not. So let's get into it. So the themes exceeded my expectations. Not really a theme, but just a topic to exceed my expectation. But the themes are course corrected, the unexpected and intrigued. Just because it's not really a theme, but giving a few surprises doesn't mean everything is fine. Heel turn city. Right, so let's give a bit of background, the prefaces of talking about Elimination Chamber exceeded my expectations. I did put a lot in my predictions video where I was not really, I saw this as a D-list pay-per-view, but it really exceeded my expectation. It wasn't 10 out of 10, but the thing with WWE, because it's so low, a good standard pay-per-view, which I would have watched. Now I'm in the UK, so maybe my UK people might understand. Sometimes in the UK, back in the day, probably 20 odd years ago when I was a teen. Oh, anyway, let's not put my age. Back in the day, you could have watched pay-per-views on normal TV late at night, like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, because of the time difference. And it could have been like a Backlash or No Mercy or Judgment Day, one of those. And even like those kind of not so important pay-per-views were just amazing. So I feel like every PLE should be at this level. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just because Triple H does a decent PLE, everyone's like, oh my god. But this was normal back 20 years ago. Every PLE was a banger. Because you know why? I know I just gave an example in the UK. Sometimes we get the pay-per-views for free. But sometimes you had to pay for the pay-per-view. And this is what I'm thinking, what's wrong. Because you have to pay back in the day in the 90s, early 2000s for the pay-per-view, they had to set it like, I want this to be sold. But now, because they got the money up front, what is the incentive? What is the incentive to go to... They got the money already and they can be egotistical about it. But anyway, it did exceed my expectations. Now, I did say in my preview, my predictions and analysis is like, this is the pay-per-view to course correct everything. The theme is course correct. It's like when you're a pilot and you have a destination, you might go a little bit off the little bit of the map, then you course correct and you make sure that you are in line. You talk to the different pilots, you talk to the air controllers, you talk to everybody to make sure that you're in line and don't miss the signs to go to your destination and land. Okay, and maybe clap at the end, all right, when we're safe and sound on the ground. And this is what I feel that Triple H has done. Now, apparently, if you go behind the scenes, especially if you watch the WWE YouTube documentary about WrestleMania for last year, they say that they usually have things settled or mostly etched out from October Survivor Series time about what they're going to do for WrestleMania. So about 6 months ahead, they kind of know what's happening. Apparently. But the way how WWE has been booking, what I think they have is throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping it sticks approach. And it's very damaging. I don't think I think Triple H is pulling the wool over people's eyes and saying there is long-term storytelling where it's not. It's just stretching out content because they're oversaturating themselves with content, and they feel they can do a few surprises here and there as a carrot to keep us happy. and make us have amnesia. Now, I've never had a child, but it feels like we've gone through this pregnancy of 10 months since the WrestleMania. We just got pregnant after WrestleMania. Oh, this is a great experience. Oh my God, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. And now we're ready to give birth for WrestleMania. It's going to be a long, extended baby in the belly. And now we went through all that pain, all that morning sickness, all that childbirth. Oh, my gash is bloody and oh, it's horrible. And now, but the baby's in my arms. Where? And I forget the pain. And I'm like, no blood. Nah, fam. I forgot about the stretch. I haven't forgot about the stretch marks. I haven't forget about the morning sickness. I haven't forgot how I couldn't sleep. I can't. I'm still getting snitches on my snatch, and everything's still sore. I'm not gonna forget what the pain you have put me through. Okay, but I still love you, WWE, because Stockholm syndrome, right? Stockholm syndrome I've got for WWE. WWE has got me onto a chokehold because the investment I've put into this product, in this brand, since I was a teenager. Okay, and nostalgia. Okay, so I've got my own self to blame of me getting kind of not gonna say abused, but hoping he's gonna change, and being abused by a boyfriend or something like that. I'm using really, not great metaphors, but you get the point of what I'm trying to say. Just because you added a few love bombs, a few surprises on PLEs, like with Jay on the Royal Rumble, and now for Elimination Chamber, you making John Cena heel, you bring back Jade and Naomi, you think, oh my god, this is amazing. But usually the PLEs where is the payoff? The PLEs or the pay-per-views is when usually you do the payoffs. Yeah? So I'm not gonna say thank you, Triple H. I am grateful. This is what you should be doing. This should be standard. Okay? This should be standard. But I'm grateful that not grateful. I'm happy that you did it. But this is your job. You're not going to get congrats for doing your job. You know what I mean? If you exceeded my expectation of doing your job and you're doing bang after bang, I'll be like, thank you. And I'm sorry. I was one of them at the start after rest because of the high of WrestleMania 41. Is it 40? I was like, let him cook. I've seen how you booked now for nearly a year. I've seen how you booked, and you have wasted talent. Drew McIntyre, Carmella Hayes, Andrade's Street Profits, Blair Davenport, Piper Niven, Naomi, Roxanne Perez. I'm trying to think of other people who wasted talent. La Garza. Wasting talent. Wasted. Not even LA Knight. Oh my god, LA Knight. How did I forget LA Knight? Wasting talent. I'm surprised he's not even on this PLE, but that's another thing. That's another subject. He could have went on the PLE for this, But he's gonna have another US title reign at WrestleMania. He's above that. He should be going for the Intercontinental Championship, but that's another story. Let me get back into this review. So yeah, just to sum it up, like, just because you dangle a few little carrots doesn't mean I haven't forgot. And my snatch hurts. Okay. So let's go into the next theme of Heel Turn City. Heel Turn City. It was the night of the heels, wasn't it? So let me give you a bit of if you watch Elimination Chamber. Now, what I noticed that when Naomi came into when she did her entrance, she was not her normal self. That Naomi looked scared. Not even before Jade turned, when she was doing her entrance music, she wasn't even she was forcing her like herself. She looked like she was gonna I could feel the premonition that something's gonna happen to Naomi. If you watch her entrance, the way her facial expression, like sometimes when you know that a wrestler's gonna lose a match, they have like the boo-boo face. You're like, oh yeah. Or when they overdo the overconfident in their entrance, or they do like you can't see because I'm talking. What do they do? Can't explain. When they kind of mime and they show the wrestling belt, when they tried to show like the invisible wrestling belt gesture around their waist. You know, oh, as soon as yeah, you're gonna lose, mate. You're gonna lose. There's no point. I piss off my screen now. You've ruined it for me. I thought there was a hint that you could have won, but once you're over exaggerating doing that, I'm like, nah. Or when they got the booby face when they're gonna lose. So when I saw that, when she was coming to the ring and when she was trying to do her entrance on on the elimination chamber, I was like, she's gonna get beat up by Jade. And then lo and behold, Jade came and she wrecked her. Now, I've always said, why hasn't Naomi done Hell in a Cell or this and this, and have these stipulation matches to get to next level as a main eventer, proper main eventer, like an undeniable. She has main evented, but you making it an undeniable main eventer. So no one can't say she done it. No, she's taking those beatings and a whooping in this in the elimination chamber, which she's probably was scared of. She can do those matches with Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch. She needs to be elevated. Get out of this mid-tier glowy thing. And I'm going to do another video of it. I'm so excited for Naomi. This is a chance for the renaissance, the resurrection of Naomi, to hurry up, ditch that glow gimmick, and be a proper star. Undeniable. She's a star already, but an undeniable star. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward for Jade to have a good singles push and Naomi to reinvent her character and be the best heel in WWE right now. So, following the theme of heel turn city, we got Rock, Travis Scott, Cody, and John Cena. Let's talk about Travis Scott. He's the biggest heel. It was just a joke. Jokety joke. First of all, they tried to get a cheap pop out of Travis, yeah? Coming into the Rock's kind of entrance. And I was just like, what are you doing that for? Because I thought the Rock was coming. And now you come, it's so anticlimax. And he just looked like a deer in headlights. He did not know what was going on. I know he's getting paid millions to be there because they want to have access into the culture. I know that he's not there out of his free will. So he's there, look at dead headlights. And no one knew who he was because he had the shades on. But no, I'm being like, if you're a rapper, this is the thing about, if you're one of the biggest rappers in the world, yeah, you just look so small. I can't explain it. It's like he had no presence. Now, I don't go to Travis Scott's concerts. I don't know. I'm not part of that life, Kardashian life. But the way how he was is like, bruh, you're a rapper. You look like some random fan who just snuck in this arena. And he came in and dressed all black and inconspicuous. You're just like, are you supposed to be here? Then The Rock came and all that kind of stuff. I just want to point that out. And it was annoying. He was annoying me. Because every time in this segment, one of the biggest moments in wrestling and how impactful this is, and every time he was in camera shot in the ring, I was like, why is he there? And he pretended to do Sage and all this kind of stuff. I thought, bro, this is not the time for Travis Scott and pretending to amplify this to the culture, because I know what they're going to do. They're going to be like, oh, Travis Scott put this, oh, there was 10 million years of impressions on X, there was 10 million impressions on YouTube, this is the most watched thing, oh, Travis Scott, oh yeah. I was like, I don't care. If you're going to have Travis Scott, you might as well just put Cena on it. It doesn't matter to me, because you want to tap into the culture. Might as well just bring Jay-Z. Might as well just pay Beyonce. Look, I'm sure she has to deal with Netflix. Pay Beyonce. It doesn't matter. Insert celebrity. Travis Scott should not have been there. It was a piss take for him to be there in one of the biggest moments of wrestling. He should have went to the announcer's table or something. It was annoying. Anyway, let's get back to heel turn city. So we got Rock, we got Cody, and the John Cena. Now, I don't know why this is where the course correction. They've heard what happens, they test things, which I don't mind sometimes. You need that flexibility to test things sometimes. But we didn't need we didn't need The Rock from last week's SmackDown to do some stupid, confusing promo. And then so I'm going to go off topic a little bit. If you watch the press conference, The Rock tried to style it out. Oh, I can style it how I don't mind being a bit of heel and baby face. I transcend this and da da da. I'm like, The Rock is full of himself. I love The Rock to bits. He's my favorite wrestler. I love that guy. He doesn't love me, but I love that guy. But I'll put my hand up and say The Rock is too egotistical, and he shouldn't do no more press conferences. He's gonna have the same trajectory as Hogan. You either die a hero or you're living off to be the villain, and he's showing his villain himself. It's too much overexposure, but that's another story. Anyway, heel turn city. Rock, Cody, John Cena. When Rock and Cody last week SmackDown, that confusing promo, the Diddy-ish promo, wanting his whole promo, disastrous promo of all time for The Rock's career and Cody, that shouldn't have happened, but they were just testing different things. And I feel like if you're going to test stuff, don't test it now. You should have tested it in January and how things was. Because getting so close to WrestleMania, it was just confusing. And then you're going to long it out. The Cody thing coming to Raw or coming to SmackDown. And like, oh, and Cody's opening his little mouth. Like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. If you're a champion, let me tell you, if that happened to Stone Cold, you think Stone Cold just gonna just sit there like a knob, like a little bitch boy, and like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, let me think about it. That's a very important decision. Oh, like, where is the men in? Ugh, I don't want to get in trouble on this platform, you know. I'm trying to get monetized eventually. Some doo-doo-ness, this bitch boy thing. You're the champion. You're the top of the mountain, and you're gonna be thinking about what? Thinking about, oh, you're gonna give him your soul, your whole. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. And then you're gonna bring this out on a PLE. It just felt like, even though I loved everything how it tied together, but nah, man, nah. I didn't like that. Just the longness of it. But anyway, it tied together with John Cena. John Cena did what was best for business. I guarantee you, this was not in the pipe works before last week, Thursday, and they panicked. They panicked because they had the reaction of like, this is stupid. WrestleMania is gonna be poo, and they're like, oh, how can we tie this together? We got to get John Cena to turn heel, to shock the world. We got to tie it in with The Rock, and tie it in with Cody. This was not planned in October. This was not planned. I don't care. No one says they can do so much spin. The Rock can tell how much he loves the business. This was a convoluted thing that they scrapped together and salvaged, and it made sense. Because you think about it, Cody and John Cena last year, I know everyone switches from heel to heel and this and that and babyface and libations and all that kind of stuff and Netflix. But didn't John Cena help Cody Rhodes last year against The Rock? I lie? So what the John Cena is out doing movies on kind of a similar trajectory as The Rock. Why would Cena need to turn heel? What is the motivation for Cena to turn? It's good for business. It's good for his legacy. It's good for him to do something that he hasn't done before personally and challenge himself. Kudos. Take a risk. He's losing money on merch. But why? It doesn't make sense. What is the motivation for John Cena to turn heel as the character? He doesn't need to. Usually people who sell their whole or their soul needs to get something out of it. Like, wants to become champion, needs something from him. John Cena is in Hollywood. He don't need something from The Rock. The Rock doesn't need something from him. So I'm waiting to see what's the convoluted story, what The Rock and Cena are gonna do. Let me know. It doesn't make sense with this heel turn. I don't mind it. I like it, but it doesn't make sense, and you're scrapping. So this shows the shoddiness of Triple H booking. Triple H books with spaghetti sticking it on the wall, hoping something. He's not as strategic and he's not as creative as people putting through. Triple H is lucky that because of the hours and how much time's exposure to the fans and the content he can produce, he can course correct. This should not be happening so close to WrestleMania of all this switch change. It saved it, so he thinks, because he had the confidence of switching the Roman Reigns and Rock story for WrestleMania last year, and it worked out well. He thinks he can just switch this and things are going to work out well. Now, it might do, just because of John Cena, you're lucky it worked well. Just because it's The Rock, it works well. Now, this goes to my other video where everyone was roasting me for about WWE and about stars. WrestleMania is about moments and creating legacies. Now, we've got these legacy acts already. John Cena, we have The Rock. What about the legacy for the new talent? This is where you make stars at WrestleMania. Who are you making? Who are you solidifying their future? You have LA Knight. You have Von Breakker. You have Kamala Hayes. You have Andrade's. How can you solidify a new star so you don't have to rely on these old part-time stars to revive the company? Come on now. Heel turn city. Come on. So, all in all, Elimination Chamber exceeded expectation just due to shock value. Triple H and the people have course corrected, and they're going somewhere, and it's unexpected and it's intriguing. Just because you give a few surprises at the PLE doesn't mean everything's fine. I still remember you, and I still remember the pain you put me through as a dedicated fan and not a casual. It's heel turn city, and we're just gonna see what The Rock is cooking next. This is Wrestling Conscience. Please like,